Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to our platform and thank you so much for joining today. So, guys, in this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can study in Luxembourg, proof of funds to study in Luxembourg, all documents involved if you want to apply for a study visa to Luxembourg. So, if this is something you really need to know, please stay connected, watch the video till the very end. The reason is because if you do not watch to the end, you may not be able to apply for this and get it successful. My name is Milton Fonkwa. Thank you so much for joining our platform. So guys, if you are a Nigerian, a Cameroonian, or if you come from anywhere around Africa, the first thing you need to know is to verify if there is a Luxembourg embassy in your country. Now, most African countries do not have any diplomatic mission for Luxembourg, but there is another country like Belgium representing Luxembourg. So in Nigeria and Cameroon, if you want to apply for a visa to Luxembourg, please check the Belgian embassy's website. That is the first thing. The second thing you need to know about Luxembourg study visa is that you need two things to apply to move to Luxembourg. The first one you need is called the temporal authorization. Now, for you to apply for temporal authorization to stay in Luxembourg, you need documents to apply for this. Relax, I know what you want to ask, but I'm going to come back and explain to you the documents you need. After you've applied for temporal authorization to stay in Luxembourg, you will now collect the temporal authorization, add some other documentation and apply for a visa. I hope this is clear. Now, remember that for you to apply for this, you need to know where to go and the amount involved. The VFS Global is the one in charge of Luxembourg. So when you go to the Belgian embassy's website, check the section for VFS Global and read the website properly. Also understand that the visa fee for you to apply the Luxembourg study visa, which is the D-type visa, that's the visa you are going to get to move to Luxembourg. This is not temporal authorization. The visa is 60 euros. Now, it takes 3 weeks and some few days to get the visa approved. Let's move to the next stage. Documents for temporal authorization to stay in Luxembourg. These are the documents you need to get you the temporal authorization to stay in Luxembourg. Remember, you need the temporal authorization before you can move to visa application. Now, this temporal authorization will be sent to you via the post or in an envelope. You need to collect the physical cash document. Okay, you need the physical document. So make sure you put a correct address so that when this document is sent to you, you are going to receive from your address. I hope this is clear. Now, documents for you to get the temporal authorization to stay in Luxembourg include all pages of your international passport. If your passport is 20 pages, 30 pages, 40 pages, scan all of them and upload. Also, you need what is called a criminal record certificate. Criminal record certificate is just a document from the judiciary or the police to say that this person didn't commit a crime, or if you've committed a crime, they will put it there and what the crime was. Remember, if you have any bad record, it might affect your application. Take note. Yeah. So after the criminal record, you need proof of funds. Now listen to me keenly, guys, so that you don't make errors. When it comes to proof of funds, you can use 3 options to study in Luxembourg. The first one is the scholarship option. Second one is the bank loan. The third one is bank statement. Let's get back. Scholarship option. If you have a fully funded scholarship to study in Luxembourg, then this is almost guaranteed for you. If you are using a bank loan, I can't really say that you should focus on this. I don't really support people who are using loans because they might think that since you do not have money, that's why you collected the loan. But again, which is not always the case. People have various reasons why they collect loans, so just avoid loans. The third option is you can use a bank statement. And in this case, you can use your own statement or you can use a sponsor. It's very important for you to note all of this. Now, remember, if you are using your sponsor, you need to show proof that these people are actually your sponsor. It's very important for you to explain this to the visa officer or the embassy so they actually understand. Then also, if your sponsor is in EU or is in the European Union, then that is excellent. But if your sponsor is not in the European Union, no problem at all. You can still use a relation, father, mother. Specifically, I choose father and mother. I don't like brother and sister or uncles or auntie, because it is a lot of, you might be needing many documents to explain this scenario. So I don't actually talk about this. Now, remember, the proof of funds is what they call 80% of inclusion rate for Luxembourg. So if you are doing proof of funds for Luxembourg, you should always remember that you need to show 80% of inclusion rate of Luxembourg. And 80% of inclusion rate per Luxembourg is 1,201 euros a month. So if you go to the Luxembourg website, you are going to see all these details there. It's very visible and clear. Now, remember, I talked about 80%, which is about 1,201 euro per month. So if you multiply 1,201 euro per month, you are going to get 14,412 euro. This is your proof of funds to get temporal authorization to stay in Luxembourg. Now, you also need what is called travel insurance. You equally need, remember, for the insurance, like I already explained to you, you are going to receive this file. If you are going to be doing insurance, please always pay attention to the insurance company recommended by Luxembourg or the Belgian embassy. You can even ask the Belgian embassy, and I believe they can help you in that situation. It's called travel insurance, and of course, you need to know that it's important. You cannot board a flight without the insurance covering you. Even sometimes the embassy must see it before they give you a visa. So put all this into consideration. Now, the next thing you need to do is visa interview. There is no visa interview here, okay? So if you want to apply for your temporary authorization, just go ahead and do it. There is no interview, so don't worry yourself about the interview. Now, what are the documents for visa application? We are done with temporary authorization. You need a temporary authorization to stay in Luxembourg. That's the first document for visa application. You equally need the visa application form. Now, I would like to draw your attention to certain things. Visa form, not the same for every country. So you should know all of this. If you intend to move to Spain, you might notice that the visa form in Canada is different from that of Spain. The next document for visa application should be 2 passport size photographs. Now, remember, these passport size photographs has to be recent passport size photographs, because your face 6 months ago is not the same face presently you are watching this video. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So the visa officer expects to see a recent photograph of you, because that is the face that is going to appear on your visa. Because when you go towards immigration, they are going to be looking at the visa, looking at the face on the visa, and looking at your face. So if they use your face that was 6 months ago, it will not correlate. That's why the visa or embassy always wants to know your current face. You understand? Then you also need a copy of your international passport. Of course, this time around you have to go with a physical copy of your passport. It's so important. Then equally, you need travel insurance. Now, for the insurance, I want to say you should always pay attention to, because sometimes there are certain insurance companies that if you do not get your insurance from them, it might complicate your visa application. So first, verify which insurance companies are related to Belgium or those that are related to Luxembourg. If you can even get from a Luxembourg company online, that will be better. Okay, I usually talk about Swiss Care. I remember talking about Euro Assist. I remember talking about AXA Insurance, but I'm not certain if these insurance companies are good for Luxembourg. They are good for Finland, they are good for Sweden, maybe other countries. But again, I didn't say they are not good for Luxembourg. I said check. Now, you also need a copy of that criminal record. You should also pay attention here. Criminal record here, for some countries, it actually expires. And for others, I think for Cameroon, it should be maximum 3 months. I'm not very certain, but you should check it out. Then for other countries, it doesn't at all. I think for other countries, maximum is 1 month. I'm not sure, but check your country to know exactly when your criminal record may expire. You can ask the police office, they will explain all these things to you. It's so important. Then also understand that when you are filling the form, in case you've been to the police station before, because there is always a place on the form, the visa application form, they might ask you if you've been in police detention before. If you've been there, respond accordingly, then give them the reason. If you've not been there, because the fact that they locked you up before, it doesn't mean that you cannot travel again. No, that's not the way it works. They just want to be sure that you are not an accrued criminal. When I say accrued criminal, you already understand what I mean, right? That A-grade criminal, you understand? So please respond accordingly and do not lie. Try to be transparent. Then you also need a copy of your admissions letter. Now, your admissions letter can come from any school in Luxembourg, depending on the school, by the way. Those applying to University of Luxembourg, their admission letters, of course, will come to them from April every year, because University of Luxembourg usually starts its application in February and it closes around April, sometimes 30th of April. Sometimes they can extend it. Now, remember, the tuition fee is very affordable. I'm now explaining to those who watch this video and prepare for next year. So get your documents ready. And remember, University of Luxembourg is not the only school in Luxembourg. There are other schools like Lunex University. To those of you who want to study physiotherapy, you could consider Lunex University. But bear in mind that it is very expensive. And also, living cost in Luxembourg is very expensive. You are going to need at least 900 euros to 1,350. That's why the 80% inclusion rate at the beginning of the video I mentioned is 1,201 euro. So somewhere in between, you can always get the money. You understand? So please put all of this into consideration before you apply for your visa. And trust me, if you do this, you are good to go. And we hope that you succeed in whatsoever thing you are doing. Thank you so much for joining. Please share the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. I'm also going to talk about proof of funds to study in Belgium, Austria, and other countries. Remember, schools are not open now in Luxembourg. Schools will be opening from December, January, February next year against 2025 intake. Until we meet again in another one, peace.